Welcome to this week's Whiskey Burn. My name's Jay and this is my Whiskey Den. Happy World Whisky Day. And that's what we're going to talk about today. World Whisky Day. Technically it's tomorrow. This gets released Friday, so technically it's tomorrow, the 17th of May this year. So I've got a few whiskies here. Basically, I've picked one from a different country that I've got. So America, standard Jack Daniels. Irish, I've got the Bushmill 16, which was my 2024 Whiskey of the Year. Brewer Classic, the Classic Laddie from Scotland. The Akashi from Japan. And from England, the Spirit of Yorkshire Distillery. Filey Bay. There you go. Not bad, not bad. I do want to extend this. I nearly got myself a Welsh whiskey. So, World Whisky Day. What do we know about World Whisky Day? Well, it was started by a man called Blair Bowen back in 2012. So it's not that old. In fact, this is its 13th year. Basically, he was a student at Aberdeen. He set up a whiskey club. He had the idea when he was at Barcelona studying. Went to Aberdeen, was at university, and came up with this idea of a whiskey club. And the first World Whisky Day was actually in March, and it got shifted to May, to the third Saturday in May, which is the 17th of May this year. Next year, it'll be a different date, so on and so on, the third Saturday of every year. So we've got to say a massive thank you to Blair Bowen, who was 21 in 2012, so now he's about 34-ish. And because of him, we celebrate World Whisky Day. So what happens? Loads and loads of distilleries put on events to entice you in to get to know their whiskey. And it's to celebrate whiskey from all around the world, hence the title World Whisky Day. So if you don't tend to go for Americans or bourbons, tomorrow, Saturday, World Whisky Day is your day to try it. And so on and so on. If you don't try Irish, you haven't tried Japanese, English, all these, this is your chance to give it a try. Try something different and celebrate the fact that it's World Whisky Day. So, for World Whisky Day, I will be celebrating by having some Brewer Classic, the Classic Laddie. And you know what? I've not done a tasting on this. So I'm going for the Scotch Brewer Classic. Progressive Hebridean Distillers. Right, in our endless pursuit of flavour, we have championed whiskey's essential raw ingredient, barley. We have sourced our crops from inside Scotland and put flavour and farmer first. So, there we go. What are we expecting from this? Well, I was looking for some tasting notes. I always think it's important to look for tasting notes because it's what they expect you to taste. Isla, so it's going to be probably quite peaty. I'm getting a smoky caramel. It says Scottish barley, colouring free, unchill filtered. It's 50%, so it's going to be relatively strong, but it's World Whisky Day. I'm just going to have a little, just a little. There we go. So, to the Scots on World Whisky Day, and to any country that makes whiskey, I'm getting clear, like fresh air, and I'm getting smoky chocolate, smoky caramel. It smells, you know, when it's a strong, it's 50%, so it's quite strong alcohol, but it smells really nice. I'm just going to let this air. So, World Whisky Day, you've known it. I've given you a couple of nuggets of facts. Blair Bowen was 21. It started in March 2012 and got moved to May. It's the third Saturday in the month of May. And everyone celebrates it. Distillers, distilleries, anyone who's got a bit of a fancy, anyone who's trying to get into whiskey, hopefully your local pub will be celebrating World Whisky Day. 13 years old this year. So there we go. So I've given this a little bit of an airing, which I think now, after reading up on what Ron Welsh said, who's a master distiller, and I did a whiskey burn where we left it 20 minutes to air, it did change it. It sort of calmed it. So at 50%, let's try it. Not as harsh as I thought, not as powerful, not the punch that I was expecting from a 50% whiskey. It's actually really quite smooth. For an Islay whiskey that is smooth, it's pretty good going. What am I getting there? Tiniest tingle on the lips and a little on the tongue. I'm getting it a little throughout. So it's a pleasant drink throughout, which is really nice. Let's just stick a cube in. Now, I've started doing this more probably to cool it down rather than water it down. And I know some of you might sit there and say, well, why don't you put a whiskey rock in it? Which is a frozen rock that won't melt, but it will cool it down. I sometimes am in the mood for a cool drink, so therefore I will actually use a whiskey rock, but I like the different flavours you get from ice. So let's see if the ice actually makes a difference. Oh. So from that, really changed it. And for me, I think it's changed it for the better. Before ice, nice and smooth, really nice and sort of throughout the whole mouth, and the short finish, which again, I'm surprised at with an Islay whiskey. The ice cube has literally just sort of chilled it, obviously, but it has put a real kind of on it, which is fantastic. It's what I was hoping for, and it's just made it an even more pleasant drink. I'm still getting that hit of smoke, but it's like a subtle, just a subtle kick of smoke in the back of the throat. And I'm still getting the sort of sweet freshness of it, which is really nice. I like that when you, wow. I got just a real strong whiff of sort of vanilla caramel in this. That's nice. So, the Brewer Classic Laddie. I bought this a miniature of this to try it, which is always a good idea. Liked it so much. Went and bought the big one. Buying a miniature is always quite a good idea if you're not sure about whiskey. Good idea for World Whisky Day. Try a miniature, then you might get a big one. But this, I haven't had this for a long time, and this is really nice. So there we go. This is what I'm having on World Whisky Day, the Brewer Classic Laddie. Whatever you're getting up to for World Whisky Day, have a really, really good day and enjoy your whiskey. The sun's probably going to be out, so hopefully you can catch a few rays, enjoy a few whiskies, raise your glass to World Whisky Day, to all the people who started whiskey way, way, way many years ago. But for now, for this week, that's it. It's about World Whisky Day, a little bit of history, a little bit of nuggets there for you. Take those away, wow your friends and tell them it's World Whisky Day and all that. But there you go. Like, subscribe. It'd be great to hear from you. Comment as well. Now, next week, I'm starting Battle of the Whiskies. So, the first up is the Tamnavulin v the Tamnavulin. So, make sure you stay tuned for that. Bit of a tasting, but I'm going to have a battle of the whiskies. So, each week, I'm going to take two whiskies that are similar and battle them off until we get down to a final. Anyway, more about that next week. But this week, happy World Whisky Day. From me at the Whiskey Burn, Sláinte.